A new era begins for the Army Painter, and our first theater of historical warfare begins with World War II and the British, German, and American paint sets, each featuring historically accurate paints, all of them meticulously selected with input from expert historians. Stand firm, keep calm, and carry on with the Warpaints Historical World War II British set. It features era-specific colors representing the resilient spirit of the British Armed Forces. From the classic khaki of the infantry to the deep green of the commandos, this set allows you to accurately depict the uniforms and equipment of the men and women who stood against tyranny. With the guidance of Dr. Bull, we proudly present 20 colors in total, including 10 unique colors to the range, all developed with our easy-to-use, high-coverage, high-performance Warpaints Fanatic formulation. And follow along as we show you how to put them to use to paint your British forces with Stefan in the studio. He begins painting the British soldier with dark battle dress, one of the 3 uniform colors from the set. We started implementing triads first with our Warpaints Air range, and then we expanded that to the Warpaints Fanatic flexible color triad system. So it made a lot of sense to incorporate a triad for the core uniform colors for each of the Warpaints Historical World War II sets. These paints utilize the same high coverage Fanatic formulation, which boasts 300 to 700% more pigment, enabling Stefan and hobbyists of all skill levels to achieve instant coverage and saturation, most often with just one coat. We'll apply the dark battle dress to the majority of this British Tommy's uniform. Progressing further into the triad, we'll use mid-battle dress to apply a simple layered highlight over the raised edges and folds of the uniform, using a Wargamer character brush, leaving the dark battle dress in the shaded areas. Next, we'll apply a refined highlight of light battle dress, and in just 3 simple steps, you can see how this color range was smartly designed to make painting the primary colors of your armed forces simple, effective, and insanely accurate. For added precision, try our Wargamer character or detail brushes for this step. The set also includes webbing green and webbing khaki, which accurately depict the accent colors of the British forces. We'll use webbing green to block in some of the straps and belts and other details on the soldier. We'll also use it to base coat the webbing on the Brodie helmet. To add a bit of contrast and shading to the previous areas, we will apply a wash of brown tone from the range, which is one of the color matches to our core range. You're sure to use a lot of washes when painting your historical minis, so if you run out of the brown tone in the set, just check the label and you'll see that you can easily replace your empty bottle with Warpaints Fanatic Strong Tone Wash from your friendly local retailer or at thearmypainter.com. Once that wash is dried, you can clean up and highlight with webbing green mixed with a bit of webbing khaki from the set. Be as neat as you can and use the side of the brush when possible to simply add clean highlights to your miniature. For even more refined details, add in a bit of light battle dress from your palette to your previous mix to add that final highlight. We're going back to dark battle dress, this time to base coat some of the soldiers' tactical gear. Follow that up with a camouflaged mix of dark battle dress and green webbing, which will be washed down a bit later with some military shade. Moving on, we'll use fair skin from the set to base coat our soldiers' face and hands. Go ahead and apply a shade of warm skin tone, just be sure it doesn't pool too much in the recesses. If that name sounds a little familiar to you and you already own one of the John Blanche Masterclass paint sets, it's because it's the same color to the set found inside. Once the shade is dried, you can mix some of the Beret Maroon from the set with the fair skin to apply a warm glaze to the features on his face. For a smaller scale historical miniature, this step is not necessary, but it adds a nice impact on these larger scale bolt action miniatures. Go back to pure fair skin to apply our first highlights to the skin just to pick out the raised features and details. For an even more refined but totally optional step, mix in a bit of matte white for a final highlight. Who hates painting eyes? Show of hands? Me too, but Stefan makes it look simple thanks to the fine point of his Wargamer character brush. He'll begin with matte black to black in the eye socket, followed by a very careful application of matte white. This is almost as nerve-wracking as watching your general fail a morale check. Whew. Okay, now just apply a simple dot of black for your pupil and hurry up and move on to the next step, which is using Rifle Brown, another new color to the range. You can then use Steel, a match to Warpaints Fanatic gunmetal, for all of the shiny bits. Swash of black tone will help add some definition, and it's a match to Fanatic Dark Tone Wash. Once dry, use some highlight mixes to refine some of the details on your rifle. We'll apply matte black to a few remaining details, including the ammunition boots. Mix in some matte white to make a nice gray, but you could also choose uniform gray or deep gray from our core range to highlight the black details. We'll use mud spatter to apply a muddy battlefield base coat on the model's base, followed by a wash of brown tone once again. Once dry, we'll grab a hobby dry brush to simply highlight all of the raised edges on the base. Follow it up with the rim color of your choice. We're using matte black here, and a battlefield tuff to suit your battlefield style of choice, and your Lee Enfield wielding new recruit is ready to join your British Armed Forces. Paint accurately with confidence, thanks to the tabletop gaming industry's first ever Era Authentic paints. Available worldwide May 2025. Pre-order yours and learn more about the Army Painter and our team of passionate gamers and painters and the products we make when you visit us at thearmypainter.com.